Hey there, interwebs. I hope you're all doing well. So I am currently in Los Angeles outside the Culver City Studios that's run by Amazon, and also I'm right outside the Sony one as well, right outside the picket line for the WGA and SAG after strikes. And a lot of these picketers are out here in really hot heat, and I was walking the line myself for the past couple hours, so you might see I sunburn so easily, so I might have gotten a sunburn walking the line with everybody, but you know, I wanted to come out here and show solidarity with all of these writers, because this is an important fight right now, not just in Hollywood but in the larger labor movement in the United States, that we all need to recognize. And you know, having conversations with some of the people on the line, which by the way, just as an aside, I'm so excited that Robert Hewitt Wolf, who was the Deep Space Nine writer who wrote the Union episode of that show, is also on the line today. So it's like, of course my first picket line has the Deep Space Nine writer who wrote the unionization episode with O'Brien, Union Man, on there. I thought that was just a little bit poetic for me personally.
You'll have to strike, mark my words. And when you do, you'll have to be strong.
Just like Sean O'Brien.
Exactly.
He died a hero.
He was more than a hero. He was a union man.
But anyways, this is a very important fight for everybody. And one of the things that I was hearing talking to everybody on the line today was, you know, people are surprised, you know, I'm doing a film and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm obviously tied into this system to a degree as well. But people are also surprised hearing that a YouTuber would be here, because a lot of the actors and writers, you know, feel sometimes this like sense that there's some writers, some YouTubers and content creators who feel a resentment at people saying like, oh, look at these writers fight, you know, get back to work, you don't deserve, you know, these things, you get paid once, what's wrong with that? And it's like something that I want to elucidate and show why it's important for us as YouTubers and as people, if you are out there, my viewers and listeners and wonderful community who aren't content creators, why it's very important to stand up for these people at this moment, because these things are all tied together. Woo! So important that we stand with these folks right now in the larger sense, because, you know, as a content creator, I hear people being like, well, this is like my moment, you know, I can take a moment to, you know, because, you know, nothing's going on, my YouTube content will be the thing that people care about or something like that. It's like, no, these studios are run like tech companies. I mean, even you can see the Amazon logo over there. I don't know if you can see it on this video, but like some of these are actually tech companies, and they are run by people at the top who just view things as content, as numbers, not art, not human soul, these things that we're passionate about, care about, that are made by people who are doing things that they are trying to showcase their humanity to people. And you don't think that, you know, if you take this moment to like, I'm gonna, you know, use this time to like make my YouTube content shine and screw these people and take advantage of the situation, that these companies aren't going to do the same thing to you right now or further down the line, exploit you in the exactly same ways. And we hear all these things about how YouTube treats people like crap. And it's because of the same thing. They just view us as content, not actual people. It's all part of these same systems. And then also, too, as, you know, human beings, regardless of our position in this fight, we are all treated this way. It is by no means a coincidence that the people that this strike is about are not the top names like Tom Cruise or anything like that. They are about the average working class writers and workers who are barely able to scrape by, who barely get anything from the residual checks. Even names that you know from like famous shows like Orange is the New Black and things like that are barely able to scrape by on just the barest of money and have to do other jobs when they should be focusing on the thing that they're passionate about, that they care about. And so, you know, these are people who are working class folks, often marginalized people, queer people, people of color. It's the same sort of system of marginalization that keeps down those who are continually unable to, you know, support themselves. Often, again, marginalized people, because our country systemically does so, that are out here fighting for their right to be able to tell their stories, to tell their souls, to showcase their humanity to a world that continually doesn't let us. And you know, it's all part of the same fight up against wokeism and blah, 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 because the reason people yell about wokeism is because these corporations turn us against each other by removing our humanity from each other and just selling it back as simple symbols and products instead of actually recognizing us as human beings. And so while the horrible people railing against wokeism, you know, on YouTube and other places are, you know, attacking the working class folks, that are like symbols of them in their mind, of this wokeism infecting, you know, this our culture today, you know, it is because this society that we live in, this capitalist society, is turning us against each other by selling us shallow versions of humanity, by sucking the soul out of everything. And so, just to wrap out on all of this, like, yes, you should care on a selfless level about standing up for the writers and actors who are fighting right now to be able to pay their bills. Everyone deserves fair compensation, regardless of what you think of the quality of the work. And by the way, them being able to pay their bills better and be able to work in better working conditions will make the art that you love better too, by the way. But even if you don't, like, regardless of quality, everyone deserves to be paid fairly for their work and their time, and the ability to live easily and comfortably in our society that is easily able to accommodate those things if it wished to. But even on a selfish level, we are all being exploited by the same system, very similar systems that are all interlocking with each other. And we need to care about that and show solidarity with these folks out here today who are here every single day. And I'm gonna try and show up to the picket line as much as I can over the next few weeks. You know, I'm busy and have life things as many of these people are trying to do to make ends meet. But I'm gonna try and make it out here because this is an important fight. And the fights that are happening here in Hollywood right now are fights that we need to be fighting across the country and across the world, really, in many different areas. And this is just the most visible because Hollywood is a very visible place in many ways. But this is a very, very important fight. And so I just wanted to take a moment to elucidate that. If you want to hear more about this conversation that I have done on this channel, I talked to writer Bill Wolkoff on this channel. We had a much longer interview that went much further into depth in these issues. So check out that video if you haven't. But otherwise, show solidarity, show that you stand with the WGA and SAG-AFTRA, and start to recognize that these fights that they're fighting right here are your fights. Because we need to be fighting them not just here, but everywhere right now. Because this is what we're all facing. As queer folks, marginalized folks, as human beings living in the society, as working class folks, it's all the same system. All right, with that being said, live long and prosper. I'm going to take a moment to be like, hey, I met Robert Hewitt Wolf, one of my heroes, today on the picket line. And yeah, you know, as O'Brien said, be a union man, or girl, or non-binary person.
Workers of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
What's happened to you?